I'm excited to announce our upcoming 2023 Banking with Life client-only event. It's going to happen in mid-October of 2023. It's going to happen downtown Fort Worth, Texas. Our whole team will be there. The team has been working very hard to make this an event that's not to be missed. I'll be there, have an opportunity to meet me, have an opportunity to meet the team. I'm going to be speaking. We'll have other guest speakers, and you'll have the opportunity to meet a room full of like-minded people. Think about that. A room full of people that are practicing becoming their own banker. They are practicing the infinite banking concept. You'll have the opportunity to meet with them and share with them. You got to be somewhere. You might as well be there. In this episode, my friend Matt Graham sits down with me, and we have a lovely conversation about the infinite banking concept, his experience. We talk a little bit about real estate, financial literacy in general, the banking function and how it's missing in financial education. And then it just turned into a love fest, and we had fun. Hope you enjoy listening.
You know, it felt more it felt like home.
Yeah.
You know, being at the Nelson, the IBC think tank, the Nelson Nash Institute. The quality of men and women there, extremely high level. Okay, not only highly intelligent, but also just salt of the earth. Very much. I could tell that. They were good people. They were solid people. They were like everyone wanted to help. The other. They
didn't all pile up in the room to learn new sales techniques to go out and earn a big commission. You know what I'm hearing?
Is that what people think out there?
I don't know what people think. I mean, but when it comes to life insurance, a lot of it's promoted that, you're doing this or that for a commission, and every agent's in business for a commission.
No, gosh, no.
I'm not saying
there was nothing.
Everybody thinks that way, but that isn't the sense you walked away with, hanging out with all these people you've never met.
As far as considering being an agent and constructing infinite banking policies for people, it felt like home. I'm thinking, oh man, these people feel like family. This feels like home. This is, if you want to be a part of something, I think deep down everybody wants to be a part of something great. Wants to be part of something great. The Nelson Nash Institute felt like that kind of place.
Yeah,
and no doubt. It felt like I was joining an underground financial movement.
Ooh.
I'm not.
That's cool.
That's kind of what it feels like, and when you look at it, taking people, the message being helping we the people take back the power of the banking function in your life. I mean, just think about that for a minute. Who are we, the people, a slave to?
Oh, wait. You were born in the debt slave construct without a choice. It appears to me that's where we're all at.
So it is powerful, and it is a process. And if you are disciplined enough, strong enough, and I'd say strong enough, absolutely strong enough in your resolve to go the distance, to fight, the long fight, and become your own banker and take back control of the banking function in your life for your family. If not for you, if you're thinking, well, I'm too old, there's all. Okay, well, do you have family? Do you have other people you love? And so, I mean, just imagine that on an individual level, so many people across the United States are taking back the banking function.
One person at a time.
One person at a time.
Yeah. That's what happens when it's from the bottom up and not the top down.
And then think about, too, I'm just thinking about the wealth that the next generation is going to have. You literally are helping the next generation not be so dependent, or to be a debtor to
less
the big banks.
Maybe.
Less dependent.
At least.
Yeah. And then, I mean, in my mind, I just see a big wealth transfer, in my mind, I see a big wealth transfer, over time that way at the individual level.
Yeah.
If this message,
being in, a life agent and a financial advisor, you see a lot of data, industry data, and the amount of money that's actually going to transfer in the next, I think, 10 to 15 years, maybe 20 years. I don't recall all the details, but it's into just the trillions. You know, and if you don't have some financial literacy, some understanding, you know, maybe thinking outside of the box, maybe going past what is shoved in your face day after day after day on TV, radio, social media, it's easy to do what the herd is doing, what everybody else is doing.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's hard to think outside of the box. It's hard to be a contrarian. It's hard to do the opposite, right? And I'm not saying that you should do the opposite all the time, but kind of like what you explained earlier, you know, after you making the disciplined effort to learn economics, finance, and then getting to the point where that's the foundation, this little old 92-page book, Becoming Your Own Banker,
that's
and
right.
you determined that was going to be the foundation of your financial construct, right? 92 pages. I mean, just a little bit of, I mean, that, in my opinion, that book alone is a solid foundation. And if all of this money is going to transfer, wouldn't it be great if the recipients, the future generations, had enough financial literacy to make some better choices, you know, and maybe do something that's outside the box, and maybe something for their own benefit and their future generations' benefit. Education is huge. You know, it's big. It's a big deal, right?
It's everything. I mean, it really is. You know, you are your choices.
Yeah.
I mean, I am my choices, and I am where I am because of the choices I made in life.
Yeah.
Good or bad.
Yeah.
Good or bad. And what determines my choices?
How you think.
How I think.
Yeah.
You know, Nelson
what
said
determines your thinking.
Nelson said to rethink your thinking.
Yeah. So, I think,
gosh, yeah. So, where do we go from here?
Yeah, I don't know. It's wherever, you know. So the financial literacy, do you see yourself now that, you know, you an agent that's moved into life insurance and, you know, gone through the Nelson Nash Institute, you know, engaging, you know, future prospective clients with the infinite banking concept? I mean, how do you see that? Or do you? You know, have you spent time thinking about how this would fit into your, you know, promotion of financial literacy? That's kind of where I was going with that.
Yeah. So, if I understand your question, you know, where do I see now kind of being an agent of promoting this book?
This idea that you can become your own banker.
Become your own banker.
Right.
Where do I see it?
Yeah. Do you see that being part of your promotion of financial literacy?
I don't see how you could not, because it's part of the picture.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't understand how you could leave it out at this point. It just feels like I would be giving someone an incomplete picture of finance.
Yeah.
If I'm not teaching them about becoming your own banker, then you're just coming at finance from an investor standpoint.
Yeah. You know, Ryan and I did an episode in I don't remember what number it was, but he got into the top 25 personal finance books.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and most of us have read an awful lot of them, if not all of them, you know, all the top names and top titles. And you know what every one of those books leave out? Every single one of the top 25 personal finance books that are promoted in America today. Every single one of them leave out the banking function. Huh. That's odd, isn't it?
Huh.
I mean, they write books, surely they can read.
Right.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's like, ain't that a quinky dink that the banking function is left completely out of financial education?
Why is that?
Yeah. Did you get any when you were studying for your life insurance?
Oh, no, absolutely. Zero.
Yeah.
Zero.
Did you get any in high school?
Zero.
Did you get any in your college education?
Oh, certainly not.
What if you were going to go on and become a CFP or a CFA or whatever? Now, I'm not disparaging those trademarks.
No, absolutely not. There's some great people in those industries that do that. And when I have the conversation with them, that's just kind of like, there's this I've actually had those conversations with this guy. He's a financial planner.
Yeah.
And it just kind of hit him. He was like,
"What?"
He didn't know what to do with it. He had no idea what to do with that thought.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm probably gonna mess this guy up.
Gonna hurt his feelings.
Probably gonna mess his
ego. Huh?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna mess this guy up if I go any further. And he was the guy I go to church with, and so I was just like, you know what?
That's all the more reason.
Like, all right, I tell you what. Why don't you just pray about that? Just take that and pray about that. Ask God to show you some more on that.
Yeah,
because
you could have gave him a book.
I know. I just don't carry it to church with me. I don't care. It's a good list. I just, I got it. Yeah.
Well, I've taken an awful lot of that coursework. I've taken a lot of coursework. And of all the coursework that I've taken, I've gotten the license, investment license, this license, whatever, affiliation, association. None of them. 14 years in the life insurance business, moderately successful, not a single course, exam, book, none of them ever mentioned the banking function. So after 14 years of practicing, in the financial world and, life insurance agent, investment advisor, it's like, and then you read this book. And when I read the book, I was literally angry. I had no idea. Why didn't the life insurance companies tell me that? Why didn't any of this, education, why didn't any of that talk about it? Why didn't any of that even hint that it was possible to control the banking function, and then what that would mean to one and their family if they did that?
Yeah.
And I don't really know the answer to that. I have my suspicions and, opinions and all of that. But, you can't, in my opinion, really talk about financial education unless the banking function is part of it. Can't be done. It's not total. It's not complete.
It's not complete.
As a matter of fact, it's pretty weak and fragile without it. Anyway,
I agree. Yes. Yeah.
So maybe we'll cut that clip out and send it to David, and let him use that to promote NNI. I'm kidding.
Yeah. No. I again, shout out to NNI. Love you guys. It's awesome. Happy to be a part. Felt like home, like it's a little fraternity.
Yeah. It's a refresher for me. I've gone to a lot of them. I think I've only missed one or two. One was digital, and we had Snowmageddon in Texas that year, and Wi-Fi was out and what have you. But I like going. I like promoting it, supporting it. Whether I agree with everything they do or not, it's beside the point. I think everybody there is there to learn about the infinite banking concept as discovered and taught by Nelson Nash, and and that's why they're there to learn and do better. So if I had to work with an agent, I would, if they didn't know anything about the infinite banking concept and likely not affiliated with the Nelson Nash Institute, I wouldn't be overly excited.
Odds are likely you're not getting the infinite banking.
They can use the buzzwords.
They can use the buzzwords. You can slap. I heard Ryan say. I heard you say it, and it's true, guys. I'm just like you. I'm on the internet. I'm searching. Doing stuff. But they'll. Oh yeah, we're doing infinite banking, or they'll rename it and call it something else, and it's not that. So yeah, if you're considering it, any agents or anybody considering it, again, do your research, vet the people that you're talking to.
Yeah, I think, I agree. If you're going to talk about the infinite banking concept just as the big all-American individual, the private individual who's not a financial person, I think you have to read Becoming Your Own Banker, and Nelson's first book, and I think you have to read his second book, Building Your Warehouse of Wealth. Mm-hmm. And then I prefer, how privatized banking really works, and then Nelson's 6.5-hour video series that's available on DVD and digital download or digital access, not downloadable. But that's the foundation, in my opinion, that's required to speak intelligently about the infinite banking concept. right? As a consumer.
Agreed. Absolutely.
Right. Or an agent.
You'll have no framework, and you won't be. Yeah, you'll be just going in circles and not knowing what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I think, time better spent and money better spent with those resources, the original resources. It's worth the time and the effort compared to not doing that and just listening to whatever you stumble across or is fed to you on the internet.
Yeah, it just occurred to me that's kind of like, gorging on fast food, gorging on sugar.
What, you looking at my meal plan? What?
No. I'm just saying, if you want the meat, you want the good stuff. Anybody that wants to pursue wealth, I think that those books should be on your shelf. They should be something that you've read. They should be in your, family library. If you're legacy minded, that's information you sure want to pass down.
What, you don't have a family library? You have an opportunity?
Yeah. Right. And it's so easy. It's so easy this day to just, scroll. Just YouTube scroll. And there's so much stuff out there, so much financial fast food information that,
full of ingredients that you want nothing to do.
yeah. If you want to get healthy, you want to get strong, those are absolutely, it would be requirements. I would agree.
So what does your future look like? What do you, and I know the future is unknown, but.
Sure. So when it comes to just kind of what I'm doing with real estate, and I've taken on a friend who's a partner, someone I trust, and I've vetted and tested, great guy, brilliant. So when we're doing real estate deals, we're looking at how can we make this beneficial for, the person that's selling their home.
Yeah.
How can we do more than just a transaction here? Yeah. How can we do more? Can we actually, on the backside of this thing, have a relationship with this homeowner who's selling and about to get an influx of capital? Like, great. Well, now what are you going to do with it? Would love to be able to talk to them about the possibilities with the infinite banking concept.
Yeah.
So
imagine you run across a lot of people just in the real estate activities, the consumer, the person that you work with, and do you go to real estate groups and events and that kind of stuff?
I don't have a group that I'm a part of right now. I mean, if anybody has some good ones, I have a small community that I'm a part of, and we exchange ideas, but no real official big group or anything.
I gotcha. But you do run across a lot of people in the real estate activities, all right?
Oh, man. Everybody does. It seems like everybody's doing it.
Have you ever met anyone that, wouldn't be or shouldn't read that book or shouldn't be exposed to this idea of becoming your own banker?
Someone that shouldn't read it?
Shouldn't. Have you met anyone that shouldn't read it, shouldn't be exposed to it, shouldn't be aware of the idea, the possibility that you can become your own banker?
That shouldn't.
Yeah, that's an easy question.
That's an easy question.
I'm throwing you softball. I'm like a CNN reporter talking to a liberal. Yeah. I'm kidding. The algorithm loves me and this channel.
Right. No. There's not one single. Okay, if you eat food and use things, and if you eat food and use things, okay? If you eat food and use things, and you have to have, a financial transaction to get those things, you should read the book.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, if you have any money, need money, spend money, earn money, save money, I think that covers about everybody that's, an adult anyway.
It covers everybody, and I think one of the hang-ups is when people just, their mindset of a bank, in the traditional sense and the framed sense, they don't understand that, once you realize that banking is a process, it's a process, and it's not so much a, brick and mortar type institution that you're building, that the banking process is a powerful process financially. And it can absolutely be done on the individual level. Yeah,
I agree. It reminds me of a commercial I seen several months ago. and the background was like a big bank building with the big columns, Greco-Roman style, whatever.
Yeah.
And it blows up, and the guy walks into an internet bar, for lack of better terminology, and is like going to bring a whole new world to banking. So it's like the imagery was blowing up these old stodgy looking buildings and walking into, like an internet cafe where everybody's on the internet, everybody's really young, 20, 30 years old, GQ, and they're online, right? And, reimagining banking or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, and so they're, out with the old, in with the new, making everything easy, but nothing. And of course it's commercial to get a new credit card or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's just an example that, I watched a commercial, but, who really in their everyday walk of life peels back this process of banking, and who's controlling that process, and who is dependent upon that process, and who is profiting from that process. It really,
there's a lot of layers there.
That's a lot of layers. But all you got to do is start with one.
They all matter. They're all important.
They are.
And you start with one, peel back the other. And if you look at it from the entire system, who's the bank owner, who's the banker, who's the borrower, who's the depositor.
Yeah.
When you look at all those things, and you and I had that conversation, and then you show it from the traditional sense, right? And then you show it from this, you're like, oh, wow, it's a no-brainer that I wouldn't do this.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. It's changed my life. I know that. The infinite banking concept, Nelson Nash, and, it's changed the lives of an awful lot of our clients and their families and people that I'll never get to meet, people that Nelson will never get to meet on this side. But it's a big deal, but it's very simple, too. There's nothing complicated about it. It is, we started off earlier how life insurance has really been beat up, in the financial world. And you look at all the characteristics of life insurance, whether you do the pros and cons or the Ben Franklin, or just like really start looking at and considering the characteristics of all the financial products that are pushed into your face. Mm-hmm. And then you learn about and understand or just see the characteristics of life insurance. And then, you look at the banking process and all the characters in that play, whether it's from an entrepreneur standpoint, a business person standpoint, or just a household standpoint. You look at that whole banking function and who's controlling, who's profiting, and you put those things together, and it's not really that hard. It's all there if you look. But if you spend a little time looking at each of those, it's like, oh my gosh. Then lights start going off, and then if you can get past the word life insurance, right?
Why is that?
I think it's from the narrative. Wall Street doesn't like life insurance as a product. They're all competing for everyone's capital.
That's right.
Cash flows. And, well, man, if I put a bunch of money on Wall Street, what are they going to do with it? They're going to practice banking, and they're going to profit from it. They sure
as heck are. They're going to make the spreads. You're going to give them your control of your capital. They don't need to own it. They just need to control it.
Yeah. And it's like everybody else is doing it, and I'm just going to go to work, punch a clock, or I'm going to go do what I'm doing. And forget about it, set it and forget it kind of thing, and don't want to vet what's really going on, in the financial world and the banking world, and but it's so worth it. It's educational, but it's kind of entertaining. Once you get past the anger, of like I've been duped, or born into this debt slave construct and didn't even know it and had no choice in it. I mean, once you get past the almost gestalt type in your face, this is going on, whether you have seen it or haven't seen it, whether you agree it's happening or don't agree it's happening. If you just look and it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, dang, these guys are smart. These bankers are smart. that's the level of entertaining.
They're highly intelligent, and they've been studying for a long period of time on the finance side of the equation.
They've mastered it. I believe it goes way back. I refer to it as the Babylonian banking system is exactly what we have today.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's also entertaining, much more entertaining. Once you see that, if you determine that the infinite banking concept, becoming your own banker, is worth implementing in your own life, then it's a whole nother game. It's a whole nother mindset. It's a whole nother perspective, and it's a whole nother level of entertainment. It's like, yeah, no, thank you. That's a great opportunity, quote unquote, you have. I'll pass. Thank you very much. And I'm just going to go finance what I was going to purchase anyway. Yeah. It's cool. It's very cool.
It is very cool. Yeah. It is powerful. And again, like you said, getting past the anger, if that resonates with anybody out there, you went and you looked behind the curtain, you did some research, and you were like, I cannot believe this is going on. This is criminal. How are they getting away with this? And then you realize, like, man,
with ease is how they're getting away.
And you're like, oh my gosh. And then your cry for justice, and you just kind of like, and then you're like, well, now what?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, you come to this realization that this is going on. I believe it's going on, and it's probably worse than what I think it is.
Yeah.
And then now the question is, okay, you're still you. Yeah. You are where you are. Now what are you going to do about it? And you can either stay angry, or you can try to do something about it. And I couldn't find anything better to do than take back the banking function, at least as best as I could.
Yeah, well, it's a process,
it's a process. And
becoming
banker, not be.
Yeah.
Becoming.
Yeah.
And so that requires education, requires all that stuff, which we've talked about before. But for those of you that are angry and you're thinking that, bankers are evil, okay, well, just, do this. Here's a way, a process out. You be in the world, not of the world.
That's right.
But anyway, I digress there.
No, I love that. All right. Well, it's like we've gone a long time. I say we've gone a long time. We've gone about an hour. I hope.
Anything else you want to discuss?
I don't know. I just wanted to talk to you and see what came up.
Man, I could go longer. We could talk about a lot, but again, I just need to know what you want. Need to know what you want to know, and what you guys out there want to know. Talk about what we can talk about.
Well, let us know what you want to know. All right? we can help. We will.
Yeah.
I wanted to continue the from yours and Morgan's episode to kind of like what you're doing, a little bit more about your insurance background, a little bit about your real estate. And so I think we covered that. I mean, that's kind of
without getting too detailed. I mean, it's yeah. I mean, if you want to know what I'm doing, you can message James and.
Matt Graham, Georgia.
I'm in Georgia.
Yeah. Yep. So look at that. Where are you from? Georgia.
Georgia.
Are you? Well, if you want to know more, you can reach out. No question, and know more about Matt. Is there anything that you want to cover?
I think we're hitting the main points home, and then
my thing is I just want to be encouraging that if you think something's a little bit suspicious, that something might be going on that you're not okay with in the financial world, or you've been exposed to the idea of becoming your own banker, it's okay to dive deep and learn. Spend the time, make the effort, take the effort, make the time to learn and just see, vet it, see if it's for you, if it makes sense or it doesn't make sense. And, if it does, then keep going and make it happen for yourself and your family. And if it doesn't make sense, it's like, okay, you still learned something. It's not going to kill you to read or learn. Yeah. Right. It might learn something that unrelated to banking. I don't know. Unrelated to life insurance. I don't know. Yeah. Right. But it's worth the effort and the time. And it doesn't. Those resources that I referenced. Nelson's first book, his second book, Becoming Your Own Banker, Building a Rise of Wealth. The third book, How Privatized Banking Really Works, and then the 6.5 hour presentation by Nelson. I think all of that can be purchased for under $300. Okay.
What a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah,
so you want to tell me I can benefit from Nelson's entire life of study?
Well, I don't think he's got his whole life.
Not his whole life. So you mean to tell me that I can benefit from his
surely the high points.
Surely the high points of his career.
Yeah.
I can get all the gold, or not all, but most of it, the high points. And then I can get, Robert Murphy and Carlos Laura's high points, a lot of them, and then I can go get Nelson's other book, and then you're telling me I can get
in a 6.5 hour video, right?
I can get all of their experience. These I can benefit. I can leverage that. And let's talk about leverage for a second. Okay. Leveraging information. All right. Yeah, leveraging education. I can do all that for like $300. I can get that.
You can. And time. You got to take time to watch and
time.
Read. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't have a $1,500 click funnel.
Yeah. So I'm not trying to, I know you this is not paid. And do you have, those are on your website, right? You can,
yes.
Get those there?
You can get them all there, bankwithlife.com. What you can't get currently is the digital download or the digital access. You cannot digitally download Nelson's 6.5 hour video. You can access it digitally.
Yeah.
But you can get all the books and the DVDs on my website, and you can get the digital access at infinitebanking.org at the Nelson Nash Institute.
There you go.
So it's all for under $300, I believe, with some shipping cost in there. Right. And then their time, effort, and energy to read it and do all that. And you can sideswipe. You can just
next.
Johnny knows a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And like you said previously, and I completely agree with, if you have that understanding, right, these resources that we just covered, you'll be able to spot the fake, the imitation, the knockoff, the bastardization, the Me Too. And then if you can spot it, you can avoid it.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Unless you want to indulge. All right.
Think about what that saves you just in not making that mistake.
Oh, my gosh.
You can't put a price on that.
No.
Like, the most costly thing you do is a bad choice, right? Was that someone? I don't know. I can't remember who said that or how that went, but one of the most costly pieces of advice you can have is bad advice.
Oh, no question.
Would you agree?
I'd rather have no advice than bad advice. Right?
Yeah. I mean, all right.
All right. So you good?
I'm good.
Leverage Nelson's time.
Leverage Nelson's time. Leverage other people's time. That all you guys that talk about leverage. There's other forms of leverage than just financial leverage, guys.
Leveraging time, leveraging knowledge.
It's important.
And knowledge is like money. Nelson said money's got to flow, blood's got to flow, water's got to flow, knowledge has to flow. If you don't let knowledge flow through you to help others, it's just going to stagnate if you keep it.
Yeah.
All right.
Knowledge, love.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's another podcast, another day. Yeah.
Talk about love.
Love people well, guys. I mean, life's too short to be angry and bitter. And then, forgive, love. Come on. That's another area I encourage everyone to invest in is that part. It's not to get off on another tangent, but for those of you that want to go to the next level in business, people do business with you because they like you and they trust you.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. And they have to, but I agree. You can be knowledgeable, you can do all that. If they don't like you or they don't trust you, it's not going to be pleasurable.
No, you're probably not going to be that successful. I would imagine not. So what? There's some truth there, I think, to invest in becoming likable and trustworthy. Invest in becoming that type of person.
Yeah. If you ain't. That reminds me of Jim. I completely agree. It reminds me of Jim Rohn, which I
love his stuff.
If you don't have a philosophy, you ought to get one. And, we all have one, right? But that's all from Jim Rohn, too. But it's like being attractive, right? What does that mean, being attractive? You got to be likable.
Yeah.
You got to be trustworthy. You got to be full of grace and love and compassion for your fellow man. And, that in and of itself is either attractive or it repels. And it repels. It's such a beautiful thing, It attracts. I have found, like, when I started doing this podcast 5 or so years ago, right? Oh, I'm going to say something. I'm going to talk. What have I got to say, and who's going to listen? And, you kind of put yourself out there a little bit, and and I have found that I repel the people that I would prefer not to do business with or hang around. And I mean, as you would think, well, yeah, Joe, James, no, these are, revelations for me that I've had, and I attract people that I like and that I prefer to hang around. Isn't that weird?
That's so strange.
And I didn't have to do a dang thing but say whatever I was going to say anyway.
Wow. That's amazing.
Quite liberating.
Wow.
So if I haven't met you, I look forward to meeting you.
Yeah.
And I got nothing but love.
You do, and I can attest to that. I've been hanging out with you for a little while now. Yeah. And it's for real. It's authentic. It's come from a real place. Yeah,
I pretty much say what you see is what you get, And you're pretty much the exact same way.
Pretty much.
What you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get.
Full of love and full of grace. Look, it's a big old love fest, right?
That's what we all want anyway, right? And a lot of the chase of becoming your own banker, being financially independent or wealthy, your wealth journey generally is just like, wow, what people want at the end of the day is just to spend more time with the people that they love.
Yeah. And be loved.
Yeah. And that's really what, that's the core motivation, I think. Well, I mean,
we're all motivated to some aspect, some level of motivation.
Yeah.
I mean, we're all motivated by love and this need to, I think, and need to belong. You said earlier, a desire to be part of something greater than ourselves.
Yeah.
That ain't going to happen hanging around with a bunch of people you don't like or don't care about, that don't like you, that don't care about you. There's nothing great going to come from that.
That's right.
Destruction,
Absolutely. So, yeah.
All right. Well, listen, man, we should have another podcast on love. Huh?
Yeah, we could. Hey, love and finance and how they connect and how they, that's, I'll stop there. But it's fun. This is good stuff. So thank you for having me on, James. I appreciate that. There's been a lot of awesome individuals who have sat in the seat before me.
Yeah, I appreciate you and y'all taking your time and to come out here at your own expense, all the way from Georgia. How many states you got to fly over? I don't know. It's not a geographical question. I mean, there's a lot.
Mississippi, Louisiana,
Arkansas,
maybe.
Yeah,
it's a long way out here.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here. I've had fun. I've enjoyed y'all being here, and I've enjoyed you sitting there and having a conversation with you.
Yeah, got to meet the office staff and kind of look behind the scenes. And
there's some pretty cool people that work here.
There's some awesome people that work here. I'm like, man, I'm gonna come hang out with you guys. Y'all are fun.
Well, to be fair, we eat a lot in the office, and we celebrate, birthdays and special occasions. And
gotta eat.
We had 2 birthdays this week, so in the office we. And Jess, my gosh, she's our event coordinator, executive assistant, but she should be a chef, right? She cooks.
She's got skills.
Yeah, has skill. And the other lady, she too. But my whole point is we celebrate, right? We've had 2 birthdays while you were here.
Yeah.
So 2 celebrations. So we had like breakfast one day and lunch another day. And
I know. I picked a great time.
Yeah. I hope some work got done while all this stuff was happening.
You know what? You guys y'all get it done. For those of you, I got to see behind the scenes they're top notch. Your crew's top notch. You have pretty high demand on your schedule, and you do a good job with it. Jake, that guy, man, he's awesome. He's awesome. You talking about, somebody that can design a policy.
Yeah.
Man. I mean, he's very knowledgeable. So you did a good job getting him trained up.
Yeah. Oh, I'd love to take all the credit for everything.
Well, I mean, he's smart. He's a smart guy. Very smart.
Yeah, he does get it done.
But yeah, from top to bottom, you got a good crew. You got a good team.
I agree. They're the best in North America.
Yeah, Morgan and I were talking about that, you know what? James has just got an awesome team. And that really, to me, says a lot about, because I've been in different organizations before, and you look at the quality of the team, you know, that just says that's a lot.
It matters.
It absolutely matters. So,
well, thank you for saying that. You know, I hear it all the time, you know, and I talk to people every day, all day. And, you know, I hear a lot. They very complimentary, you know, man, Jake, Julie, and Jess, I mean, very complimentary. And I hear it more than they hear it, right?
Yeah.
You know,
they don't
but I try to pass that along and say, and it's cool. You know, I would hate to have to show up and at a place that I didn't want to be, around people that I don't want to be around, doing things that I don't like doing.
Yeah, they're happy to work around here. That's, you know, you don't see that a lot. People that are, you know, enjoy what they do.
We do have a cool environment. I'm glad you brought that up and mentioned that. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
I agree. So
yeah, because I think, you know, this is my, you know, second time podcast. Well, you know, the outside world doesn't know behind the scenes. You know, you think you know, but I'll you know, let you know. No, it's legit. The whole crew is awesome. Whole team's awesome.
Hey, we make it look easy.
You do. You make it look easy.
We do have fun doing it. All right. Thanks, Matt. I greatly appreciate you being here and having a conversation with me. And I appreciate every one of you listening. You know, what do they say? Like and subscribe. Right?
Click the button below. Click the button below.
All right. All right. Take care.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us on the Banking with Life podcast. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like and subscribe and click on that little notification bell. Otherwise, join us on Apple Podcasts and Stitcher for weekly content.